We're going to be welcoming to the stage Morrigan Lynn is an author and speaker and intuitive guide with 20 years of experience helping people navigate life with clarity and confidence. She's the author of The Spirited Human: Proactive Tools for a Reactive World and creator of Her Sovereign Way, a transformational space and body-based framework guiding women out of people-pleasing, burnout, and self-abandonment and back into embodied leadership, self-trust, and personal sovereignty. With deep roots in somatic healing, emotional mastery, and energetic alignment, Morrigan teaches impact driven leaders how to expand their capacity to receive, lead, and grow without overriding their capacity, betraying their values, or abandoning themselves in the process. So, with that, let's welcome Morgan Lynn to the stage.
You did, mwah, that was perfect.
I was like, we did all this joking, and now I'm going to say it wrong.
It's absolutely okay. I'm so used to it, but yeah, no pressure. Yes, but you did great. Thank you. And oh my God, I have to say before I start how I'm in the right room. I've been listening to all the speakers today, and I'm just so freaking inspired by everybody that's come in here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing myself a little bit in each and every speaker. That's very inspiring. And I'm so honored to be here. Thank you. I'm glad I get to add my little spices to the mix. Thank you. All right. Let me settle in. I'm so excited. I want to make sure I'm watching my time as well. We're going to go a little bit in a different direction. As much as I am loving everybody's talk and I can see myself in it, I want to go a little deeper. Can we do that? Is that okay? Can you like put a yes in the chat if you're willing to go with me? Because I want to shift the gears just a little bit towards something not so popular. It's not so, yay, we're talking about self-abandonment. Yeah, we're going to go there because most people, most women that I work with don't realize, they don't come to me saying, oh, I think I'm abandoning myself because that's not, oh, did you hear that Texan accent? That was funny. They don't come to me thinking that they're abandoning themselves. They usually come to me saying, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do. You heard Sunita talk, like I feel broken. A lot of women will say that about themselves because we have this tendency to blame self when something's not working in our world, right? Anyone? I know we do. I know we do. And so, and there's a space in there of they're really proud of themselves for holding it all together. We have a pride when we are the ones that everyone can count on. I get it. I totally get that. I was absolutely that person too. But in our consults and our conversations, after a few minutes, I actually start noticing patterns. I start noticing Mm, they're saying yes when they mean no. They're pushing past their limits and because they don't want to disappoint people, right? They're carrying the whole load and then feeling guilty when they need to ask for help or don't ask for help and then resent that they're the only ones doing it. Do you see how that the patterns kind of come up in that way, right? And the moments in the individual moments, they seem small, but they're not small. They don't stay small. They start to compound. They start to live on your chest in such a way that it makes it really hard to breathe. Until one day you're looking at your life, you're looking at your work, your relationships, you realize you've built a really beautiful life and it looks good from the outside, but you're not actually in it. You're out there building it. You're not in it. Does that make sense? Yeah? Yeah. Seeing some yes, 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 yes. So, the women I work with, I would never say they are weak. They're not lost. They're not broken, even though that's what we would say about ourselves. They're actually quite capable, intuitive, and deeply aware. But like most of us, they were taught to abandon and betray themselves in order to be accepted, in order to fit in. We've heard that today already about the fitting in versus belonging. They don't belong to themselves. So, because we get praised in our society, because that's when one is easygoing and accommodating, that is virtuous, right? We've heard this language. Yes, I see my people in the chat. I'm loving it. And we even heard from Tina earlier about playing small, don't be too much. Like those are very common things that we hear as women. Most women don't even notice it's happening because it's so common, it's so patterned, and it's our default system because we've been trained since infancy, really. But yeah, sad but true, exactly. But your body notices, right? Your body notices. Your body has been keeping score the whole time. You may not have the awareness that you're doing it, but your body knows you're doing it. It's the exhaustion that never seems to go away, that resentment you swallow, even though you're smiling and you're like, oh, I'm fine, everything's okay. You know, you're not. You know, you're not, and you're resenting that you're not, right? It's that feeling that something is a little bit off, even though everything is in its proper place. Yeah? Just making sure I'm with my people. Can you drop a yes, that's me? Oh my God, I feel so seen in this moment in the chat because I know we've either all been there or we're there and trying to work out of it, right? Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Love it. So let's talk about what self-abandonment actually looks like because it's not really big, obvious moments. It's hard for us to catch them. Self-abandonment lives in the million micro betrayals that stack up. The million micro betrayals that begin to stack up, that begin to weigh on us. It's the moment you say, yeah, that works. Yeah, totally. I can do that. When you know you can't, you know your capacity is not going to be able to do that. It's in the editing every time you want to say something that just really feels true to you and you're already gaslighting yourself, thinking that's not going to land. I shouldn't say that. I used to, really bad habit, I would laugh at really inappropriate jokes because I wanted to dissolve the discomfort in the room. Like, so that was the way I would do that. I would, oh my God, that's so funny, and laugh at somebody's joke just because it was uncomfortable. Yeah, those are the moments. That's how they show up. That's how they come down on us and start weighing us down. And each one of them unto themselves, they don't look like anything. They don't look like that big of a deal, but they begin to pile up. And from the outside, we as women we look flexible, we look kind. Oh, she's just so easy to be around. She just rolls with the punches, right? Underneath, it's something else. So every time you put, and this is my definition for self-abandonment. Ready? Take a breath. Every time you put someone else's comfort ahead of your own well-being, that's self-abandonment. Every time. When you say in a subconscious way to the universe that they are more important than you, I'm going to go out and rescue them or make them okay or care for them or give them a piece of me so that they're happy, that's self-abandonment. I'm just pausing and letting that land because I really, really, really need you to hear that. We learned that at some point. Of course, most of us did. We weren't born that way. It's not something we came out of the womb, right? We learned that it was safer to be liked than to be honest. We learned that it was better if we went along with things and we were needed rather than being fully seen for who we are. And over time, we got really, really good at scanning the room, reading the room, knowing what the room needs. And somewhere in there, you stopped knowing yourself. You see, the cost of self-abandonment isn't, well, everyone else is happy, so I'm safe. The cost of self-abandonment has many wounds. And the deepest one is truly that we end up not knowing who we are. We end up not knowing what we want. And so that catapults us into a behavior where Let me just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. A lot of trial and error because that default system is overriding our own natural desires of who we want to be, right? So our default is taking care of everyone else around us in order to feel needed, valued, alive. Yeah. Are you resonating? Am I in the right space? Just want to check in with everybody. Yes. I want to make sure you're really hearing it. So I know that story. Yeah, I hear you. I know that story. I lived that story. I think we do well in life when we teach what we know, right? For me, that's a big integrity thing. Yeah. So that's what I know. I thought I was being a good person. Like I really pride myself on being capable, reliable, and strong. I could do anything. I could show up. I showed up for every person that needed the bat signal every single time. All the emergencies, no matter what, no matter if my capacity could hold it or not. And then one day, my body said, no, I'm not going to let you do that anymore. And there was a moment when still a little bit of emotion, um, as I touched that. There was a moment when I had to choose between, am I going to make myself lunch today or do I get to shower today? Because I was very aware that I couldn't do both. My body had been trying to tell me for years that I was harming myself in these micro betrayals, but my mind was overriding it the entire time. My mind was programmed to believe I can't let anybody down. I was so disconnected from my own body, from my own sensations, that I didn't hear the sirens that were going off. And so, as time does, as time and distance does, I'm so grateful I can look back at it now and see the nutrition of that moment where I maybe once called it a breakdown or burnout. I now know it's an interruption. It was an interruption to the deep pattern of self-abandonment that I didn't see until then. So I started to ask myself, I wonder what would happen if I just didn't leave. And I got really curious about that conversation. And so that's where I want to take you. I'm feeling into that. This is where the rest methodology was born. I didn't need a whole overhaul of my life. I just needed something I could do in the moment that I was leaving so that it could be real, small enough to be easy, and easy enough to remember in those moments. Right? So this is where rest methodology came from. I'm going to walk you through it. Number one is recognize. Any healing journey, any development journey has to start with awareness. You have to see it to shift it. If you can't see it, you can't shift it. So this is the moment you're about to say yes when you mean no. The moment your body tightens when you're about to push past your capacity. You won't catch it in real time. You won't notice that it's happening, but eventually you start catching on that it's happening. That's the practice. You simply notice what you notice as best as you can. So that would take you to number two. That would be embody. Once you realize you've left, come back. One breath, feet on the floor, hands on chest. That's your disruptor. That's your pattern disruptor. It's simple. Once you recognize you've left, come back. Orient your awareness to the sensation of your own experience. Now, number three is a little harder. Number three is stay. This is where most women leave again. Because here's the breakdown. You abandoned for a reason. Something was uncomfortable. You abandoned to avoid. This is that pattern that's innate. When you come back, you're going to feel that discomfort again. So leaving is going to be a big temptation, right? So you have to practice staying each time, holding your discomfort, breathing and interrupting it, holding yourself through it. The temptation to leave is enormous. But the antidote to self-abandonment is creating enough safety in your own body to never leave again. That's what we're doing. We're setting you up for success to never leave again. So then, once you're in and you've held and you're, oh my God, this sucks. I hate it. I want to leave again. Your system catches on. We're not in danger. It's okay to stay. When you stay, you begin to trust yourself again. You're able to speak more clearly. You say, well, let me think about that before you actually say yes, right? Your boundaries shore up, relationships improve, your energy returns, you move with purpose. Trust isn't something you wake up with, it's built. It's built by showing up for yourself every moment you can, consistently, over and over and over again. And that's it. Recognize, embody, stay, trust. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, time is funny. I want more time with all of you. I want more time with you. So just for right now, just take a moment, take a breath. I want you to know that you don't get in your body by thinking about it. This is not a concept. This is not all just mindset work. You get there by practicing it. You have to embody this practice. Your body needs to feel safe enough to have you stay. And this is where we kind of like lose ourselves in this and we want to understand it intellectually, but we're still leaving. So I've created something for you in my last seconds. It is something that will help you guide back to your body, will establish the trust, establish the consistency over and over again. It's called Coming Home to Yourself. It's not a relaxing meditation. It's something that creates breadcrumbs back to yourself in the moments when you begin to disconnect and override. Because here is the bottom line of it, my loves. Uh, you are worth living a life with you in it. You are worth embodying all that you are, and you are worth staying for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Woo!
That was beautiful. It was, yeah.
So much emotion. I did not expect that.
I feel you. I have that sometimes with stuff. I'm like, I've said this a million times. Why is it hitting me now? And I
Mm,
love that though, because it's truth. And that's what we're here to be is tr open and true and honest with ourselves. I have to ask you,
yeah.
when you realized this and started doing this work, what opened up for you? What became
Oof.
possible?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a full disclosure person, so I want to be really honest with people. The journey takes time.
Mhm.
I say that because just 2 weeks ago, ish, 10 days ago, I realized all of a sudden that I'm not leaving my body.
Mhm.
Like I'm not leaving. As slight as it is when it go when you develop the default to leave, the default to stay is just as slight because I didn't realize I wasn't leaving until I wasn't leaving. I cried for 3 days because I think that's why there's so much emotion today is the recognition that I'm connected to my words. I can connect to people. I can connect to my work on a whole new level, which means I can connect to my clients on a whole divine, sacred level. Like everything opened up. Everything is opening up. Yeah.
I love that. I love that for you, and I love that for everyone you work with because
Yay.
it just flows through you. So thank you. That was perfect way to wrap up our morning session. So I appreciate you. Thank you.